Look how cute. Hi guys, this is Leonor from Leonor Reacts, and this is the little tree additional in the house that I'm using for postcards, sticky notes that you guys send me, and thank you so much for being part of my channel. I just want to say thank you for being part of my channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching the videos, the scriptures that I share with you, the stories behind each one of the persons that are being written in the Bible, right? And I'm very grateful. Today it's been a day that usually we're taking care of a special person, and I say we, me, and one of, and the rest of the family that I created and brought to this world. And we take care of a wonderful human being. And so I said, give me a minute, guys, let me pause. I'm back. So I said, let me just go home, because my older child said, well, Mom, I'll stay over here, I'll work from here, and you do what you gotta do. I had this need to come home. Today it's been that day. It's kind of cloudy outside, and I even had to cancel my appointment because I wasn't feeling well. And I said, I'm just gonna cancel that appointment, and I'm not feeling well, but I need to be home. I need to be home, and I need to ask for guidance first to the Lord and then my ancestors. And I light up some candles, and I pray a lot. I prayed a lot. So I be guided to say the right things and not to have my focus in something else. So I said, thank you for being part of Nano Reacts. And the Esdras revelation I had put, but it's actually revelation of Esdras. And he says, the revelation of Esdras explores the mystery of creation to end times and divine justice. It teaches that while humans cannot understand everything, which we had spoken about that on the last Psalms, because this has to do with Psalms actually. God's plan will ultimately bring truth, restoration, and judgment to the world. Deep reflection from the book of Esdras. It will be the revelation of Esdras is an apocalyptic text that delves deeply into the mysteries of God's plan for creation, the fate of the righteous and the wicked, the ultimate end of the world. It is a book filled with visions and profound questions about divine justice, suffering, and the final judgment. Written during a time of despair, likely after the destructions of Jerusalem, the book gives voice to deep human anxieties about God's role in suffering and the uncertainty of the future. Esdras, the prophet, is the central figure of the text. In his vision, he asks God numerous questions, many of which echo the doubts and frustration of the people that people often feel when faced with suffering or the perceived injustices of the world. One of the most significant themes in the revelation of Esdras is the search for the divine justice. Why do the wicked seem to prosper while the righteous suffer? Why does evil exist in the world created by a good and all-powerful God? These are the types of questions that Esdras asks, and his dialogue with the angel offers insights that touch on some of the most profound existential concerns. At the heart of the book is the understanding that God's ways are mysterious and not always comprehensible to the human mind. In answering Esdras' questions, the angel often points out the limitations of human knowledge and the need for faith. Righteous will receive their reward, and the wicked will face the consequences of their actions. The message is clear. God's judgment is just, even if it seems delayed or hidden from human eyes. The revelation of Esdras also speaks of the end of the world, where God will bring a final judgment upon all people. Esdras is shown a vision of the future in which the righteous will be rewarded, and the wicked will be punished. The vision offers hope to those who suffer injustice in the present world, as it assures them that their suffering will not be in vain. The book suggests that while things may seem chaotic and unjust now, there is an ultimate divine plan that will restore balance and judgment. It's inevitable individuals still have the opportunity to shape their fate through their actions. Esdras is shown the possibility of redemption and restoration for those who choose to follow the path of righteousness. The narrative calls individuals to reflect on their own lives and to live in a way that aligns with divine wisdom, as the final judgment will be based on one's deeds. The eschatological and time themes in the revelation of Esdras are deeply philosophical. They invite readers to consider the nature of time, the existence of evil, and the purpose of suffering. The book challenges us to think about the ultimate meaning of life and how we respond to the suffering we encounter. It proposes that while we may not fully understand the reasons behind our suffering, we can trust that God's justice will prevail. And I'm very, very, very truly believing that God will prevail in the end and will be made clear, and all things will be restored according to the divine wisdom. The apocalyptic visions in the revelation of Esdras may seem bleak at first, but they are ultimately a call to hope. Despite the suffering and evil in the world, there is a promise of renewal and justice. The book encourages the faithful to remain patient and steadfast, trusting that God's plan will unfold in its own time and the righteous will ultimately triumph. The dialogue between Esdras and the angel also underscores the importance of humility and faith. Esdras is often told that he cannot fully understand the ways of God. His role, as with all humans, is not to grasp the entire plan, but to trust in God's wisdom and to act justly in the world. This challenged the human pride to accept that we do not know everything is a central lesson of the book. The revelation of Esdras teaches that while life is full of mysteries and suffering, there is a divine purpose behind everything. Even if it is beyond human understanding, it encourages faith and patience in the face of injustice, knowing that God will bring about a final judgment that will restore balance. The book reminds us that our actions matter and that through righteousness and faith we'll participate in God's larger plan. It calls for humility recognizing that we cannot understand everything, but we can, that God's wisdom is greater than ours, and we should understand that. The message of the book is one of the ultimate hope and assurance. Throughout the world may seem chaotic and unjust. The righteous will eventually be rewarded, and the wicked will face the consequences of their own actions. The revelation of Esdras challenges us to live with the knowledge that we are part of a larger divine story, one of that transcends our immediate understanding and invites us to seek justice, to trust in God's wisdom, and to remain steadfast in the face of suffering. Some questions to reflect on. How do you respond to suffering and injustice in the world? Do you question God's role in these issues? And if so, how can you reconcile your doubts with faith in His ultimate justice? What does divine justice mean to you personally? How do you think God will judge the actions of individuals at the end of time? And what does that mean for the way you live in your own life today? Take some of this time to a week and to reflect on all area of your life where you feel injustice or suffering, whether it's something personal or societal or societal issue with society or a broader global challenge. Ask yourself how you can respond to this situation with faith and hope. Even if you don't fully understand what is happening, reflect on what it means to live in accordance with divine justice. Focusing on how you can contribute to making the world a more just and righteous place. This may involve small actions in your community, standing up for what is right, or simply living the integrity and kindness in the face of difficulties by acting justly. You participate in God's greater plan and embody the lessons found in the revelation of Esdras. How amazing is that, guys? That word, social tool, whatever. There you go. And in Psalms 10, it's right here because I want to read it, is a lament about why God seems distant while the wicked prosper, focusing on the arrogance and oppression of evil. People who believe God doesn't see their actions, but ultimately shifts to a prayer for God to act as king, promising that He does see and will bring justice for the helpless and the oppressed. It moves from confusion, why high, Lord? The description, the proud, greedy, wicked, to confident trust, God is king forever. He will defend the helpless. The lament in 1:1, it would be verse 1:11. Questioning God's absence starts with a cry, why, O Lord, do you stand far away? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? This is questions that people will ask, and that we was talking about that in Esdras. Description of the wicked. The wicked are proud, greedy, and believe God doesn't exist or care. He hides His face and never sees. Oppression of the poor. They ambush, plot against, and exploit the vulnerable, seeing no consequences for their cruelty. The turning point and prayer. 12:18. God's awareness. The psalmist turns to God, reminding him that he sees the mischief and vexation, and appeal for divine action. It would be for God to rise as the mighty king and deliver the oppressed. And the ultimate trust with strong affirmation that God will bring justice and defend the fatherless and the poor and reign forever. Overall meaning of Psalm 10 captures a struggle of faith and evil seems to triumph, but resolves in the confidence that God is an ever-present King who ultimately judges the wicked and protects the vulnerable, assuring that his justice will prevail. Question about that. On Psalm 11 is about the choosing the faith over fear when facing danger, contrasting the advice to flee like a bird with David's declaration of trust in God. It teaches that even when societal foundations crumble, God remains sovereign in his heavenly protecting. The righteous will find refuge in him rather than running from the threats, knowing God's justice will prevail. The temptation, the verse 1-3, David's friend advised him to flee danger, possibly from Saul, suggesting righteous have no defense if foundations are destroyed. The response of faith, 4-7, describes David's rejects fleeing, affirming his trust in God. God's presence, the Lord, is in his holy temple, his throne in heaven, overseeing everything. God's awareness, his eyes see, his eyelids test all people. God's justice, he loves righteousness, hates violence, and will ultimately judge the wicked and favor the upright. Faith versus fear is a model for responding to overwhelming challenges, personal, social, political, and choosing radical trust in God over panic. Psalm 28:7. Sovereign. It emphasizes that the ultimate control and presence, even when human situations seem chaotic or just. Refuge. God's presence in his temple heaven means he is accessible and provides true refuge, unlike fleeing to the mountains. Testing. The righteous are tested by God's watchful eye and loving purpose, mean they won't be abandoned. They will see his face. I love this. So I'm going to show you. Let me see. I'm going to show you very, very fast the scriptures, and I'm going to read Psalm 9 and 10 right here with you. So stay tuned. Look at these. So it says right here. To the crown master, according to the Muth Levin, a psalm of David, I will give thanks to the Lord. We'll be here, guys. With my whole heart, I will recount all your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they will stumble and perish before your presence. For you have maintained my just cause. You have sat on the throne, giving righteous judgment. You have rebuffed the nations. You have made the wicked perish. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemy came to an end in everlasting ruins. Their cities you rooted out. The very memory of them has perished. But the Lord sits enthroned forever. He has established his throne for justice, and he justices the world with righteousness. He judges the people with uprightness. The Lord is stronghold for the oppressed, stronghold in times of trouble. And those who knows your name put their trust in you. For you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praise to the Lord who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the people his deeds, for he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my affliction from those who hate me. Oh, you lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praise, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. The nations have sunk in the pit that they made, in the net that they hid. Their own foot has been caught. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked are snared in the work of their own hands. The wicked shall return to Sheol. All the nations that forgot God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the hope of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not no man prevail. Let the nations be judged before you. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. And why do you hide yourself? That's 10. Why, O Lord, do you stand far away? And we are in Psalm, okay? Psalm 10. Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? In arrogance, the wicked hotly pursue the poor. Let them be caught in the schemes that they have devised. For the wicked boast of the desires of his soul, and the one greedy for gain curses and renounces the Lord. For the pride of his face, the wicked does not seek him, and his thoughts are, there is no God. These ways prosper at all times. Your judgments are on high out of his sight. As for all his foes, he puts at them. He says in his heart, I shall not be moved throughout the generations. I shall not meet adversity. His mouth is filled with cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue is mischief and iniquity. He sits in ambush in the villages. In hiding places he murders the innocent. His eyes stealthily watch for the helpless. He lurks his ambush like a lion in his thicket. He lurks that he may seize the poor. He seizes the poor when he draws him into his net. The helpless are crushed, sink down, and fall by his might. He says in his heart, God has forgotten. He has hidden his face. Will he never see it? Arise, O Lord of God. Lift up your hands. Forget the afflicted. Why does the wicked renounce God and say in his heart, you will not call to account? But you do see, for you note mischief, that you may take into your hands. To you the helpless commits himself. You have been the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked and evildoer. Call his wickedness to account till you find none. The Lord is asking forever, and ever the nations perish from his land. O Lord, you hear the desire of the afflicted. You will strengthen their heart. You will incline your scar or your ear. You will incline your ear. You do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed. so that man who is of the earth may strike terror no more. The Lord is holy temple. To the crow master of David, in the Lord I take refuge. How can you say, my soul flee like a bird in your mountains? For behold, the wicked bend the bow. They have fitted their arrow. To the string they shoot, in the dark at the upright in heart. If the fountains are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in the holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes see, his lights test the children of men. The Lord tests the righteous, but his soul hates the wicked and one who loves violence. Let him rain coals at the wicked, fire and sulfur and scourging wind shall be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteous deeds. The upright shall behold his face. With that being said, thank you for watching Leonor Reacts, and we should continue the faithful have advantage. And let's see what the Psalms 12 will talk about next time. See you in the next video.